So we're going to do some practice problems together from lesson 1.1. So please make sure you turn to page 6 in your student journal. And all these practice problems will help us work on the learning target of naming and sketching geometric objects. So we're going to start on page 6 and we're going to do these 10 problems here. In number 1 through 4, we're going to use the diagram on the right. And in number 1, it says give 2 other names for line CD. And I know it's a line because it's kind of hard to see, but there's arrows on the end of that symbol. And so line CD in my picture is this line here. So when I look in this picture, I notice there's a little lowercase m, and we can name lines with lowercase letters. So one other name for line CD is line M. I can also use any 2 points on the line to name it. The only 2 points I see on line CD are point D and C. So another name for line CD, remember, I can change the order of the points. So I could also call this line DC. And make sure you have the line symbol above your points. In number 2, it wants us to give another name for plane M. Plane M is this plane here. It has a uppercase M to name it. Remember, to name a plane, we need to have 3 points on the plane that do not lie on the same line. So I could use any 3 points on this plane. I could use E, C, and B because those 3 do not lie on a line. So I could call plane M plane ECB. You could have used points A, C, and E. There's a lot of different ways you could have named this plane. The only points you could not have used to name it would be A, C, and B because all 3 of those points lie on the same line. So you can't use those 3 to name the plane. In number 3, it asks us to name 3 points that are collinear. Then name a 4th point that is not collinear with these 3 points. If you remember back to your definitions, collinear means that the points lie on the same line. I kind of just talked about this. We see in this line here that points A, C, and B all lie on this line. So those 3 points are collinear. So points A, C, and B are collinear. And we just need a 4th point that's not collinear with these 3. So a point that does not lie on this red line. And there's a couple points in the picture. You could say point D doesn't lie on that line, or point E. I'll just say point E is not collinear with A, C, and B. Number 4 asks us to name a point that is not coplanar with points A, C, and E. So points A, C, and E all lie on plane M. So we need to name a point that does not lie on plane M. And the only point that we can see that is not on this plane is point D. It's up above the plane here. So point D is a point that is not coplanar with points A, C, and E.